This is Joycey.
And Blake.
And welcome to Savagely Scaled. Are you doing the intro on this
Sure, even though it always says Joycey, I was like,
I know.
What?
It's because Joycey always does the intro usually. Gotta mix it up.
Yep. In today's episode, we're talking about something a lot of people in the CrossFit community have been discussing lately and probably already have gotten their I want to say shit together, but gotten their little grip on life together to either sell a kidney, fundraise, or buy their tickets for the games. And what we're trying to discuss is, can people even afford the CrossFit Games anymore? And I wanted to go into like more like also athlete based and just like the regular bystanders, because whether you're an athlete trying to qualify or just a fan trying to attend, the sport gets expensive really fast. So we're just going to do like a quick dive. I don't know too deep. We still have questions on our own because it's really nice that there's two different. Yeah, I should have eaten something. That Hyrix class kicked my ass with my brain. But I was like, we're going on two different paths. But like, I'm volunteering. You're thinking about going.
As a spectator, not as a...
So I have like different pricing on traveling.
That's true.
Compared to like going
someone who's
to
just going to
watch.
spectate.
Yeah. So
we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into it in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. So as we were saying, I think when it comes to like attending I haven't attended the CrossFit Games at all. Have you?
Me neither.
Yeah. So this is kind of the first year that we're actually considering it seriously to participate.
Just back in California.
I know. It's because now it's more manageable in that sense. We're like, okay, now we kind of have a chance to possibly make it happen because it's not too far.
And what two Cali girls couldn't try and make it happen.
Right. And
other than Joycey's going to be there like a month, 2 months before
That's
for
true.
NCC.
I'm like, yeah.
It's literally like right across from each other.
Is it really?
Yeah. Because you're going to be in Pleasanton. So you're a little bit higher.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's going to make me want to go twice then. But I think it's also just, well, at least for us, we do have someone from our gym going to actually participate in the game. So I think for me, that makes it much more of a reason to want to go this year. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm considering it. But one of the biggest things is the fan experience. And it's kind of exciting for Blake because she's going to be volunteering specifically for the fan experience.
Yeah.
So what exactly is the fan experience when you like in your
there's so many things. So you can they do CrossFit classes, so you can help coach that. You can help with lines. You can help with there's meet and greet stations
and
for
stores,
some of the in the stores. So there's all kinds of different things. We go over our strengths. So like we're gonna be a part of a big group chat to where we can put in like what we do, what our experience is in certain things. So then they can fit us in for things.
Right.
So I'm just excited to volunteer because I've been wanting to volunteer and I think I put in for last year and I didn't get picked.
Oh, wow.
So I was very excited when I got the email and I was like, I'm going to try again. And I got picked. I didn't get picked for masters though. And I put in that I wanted masters and individuals, and they had like a spot for what are your strengths, and I put my strengths, and I put my biggest strength is being at the masters because we'll be having somebody at my gym go. Obviously, they didn't read that part.
They were just like, no, we're going to do it, put her in the opposite thing.
They're like, she'll be fine.
Right. Yeah. But also, like, you're going to be with, like, I guess the elite, the people that we kind of look up to and, like, follow. So that's, I think, like, one of the most exciting parts.
So I'm excited to see where they're going to put me. I did get, like, my shifts and the hours. Like, I'm working basically 12-hour shifts.
Oh, my gosh.
But you get food. They give you food, water.
Do you get a discount
time
merch?
To rest? I don't know.
Maybe you might be.
Might.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Or a little
you can get me
baggie.
A t-shirt.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll watch the line for Danny and Brandon or something.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
But there are like rules, like we're not allowed to talk to the athletes. We're not allowed to have our phone and take pictures with them.
That's how they get you.
If we're in line and we're directing their lines for things, like we're just not allowed. And I go, I get that.
People must do it anyway. I agree, Jenny. That is
Just
absolute
that's not
diddly,
nice.
diddly squat.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I'll keep you updated with what I'm going to do. I know that Dave's going to the game. So we have Dave Partridge, who qualified for Masters. And he's going to be there before me. Or
That's right. The days before.
Sort of before me. Like when I get there is when he'll be ending.
That's
so
right.
Like the group that's going only for Masters, like I'll be able to see the group from our gym and be like, hey. And then the group that's staying, I'll be like, hey.
Because it's a week-long thing. I think it's Masters are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then the next 3 days are the elites, right? Is it Thursday, Friday? Or is it Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Sunday, yeah.
So it's a 3-day kind of event for both Masters and for the CrossFit Games individual. I kind of think of it as like a fit Coachella, I guess. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
It can be
it's like
that.
not a festival, but like a 3-day event kind of thing.
It is like a fitness festival. When I'm like, oh, I wish they had like expos of things, and it's kind of like an expo.
Similar,
yeah.
That's kind of like the closest thing I could break it down to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they mentioned like a vendor village where you can go buy merch. But some things to consider, you know, that we've been talking about if we do decide to participate are like obviously the event tickets, which upon looking it up, I think for the Masters, it's $125 per day or $300 for all 3 days.
Yeah, the 125 when I was looking for like where to sit was like how you were we were talking about like nosebleed seats, and then they go up from there.
Yep.
And that was just like the Masters. And I know like people have been talking about like pricing and how expensive they are.
Up there.
And that just for the tickets. And I think the $125 one was just a single day, how you were saying, and then 300. And then that's 300 is bare minimum because they go up from there for the 3-day.
Yep.
So it is like you can kind of guesstimate like you're looking at 125 to maybe 300 to 500 depending on where you want to sit for like low end seats.
Yeah, dude, that's gnarly.
It is. And that's just like if you want premium, you're looking for even more. Oof. And these are just like what you think of as a fan, because then you have to think about flights. Do you live close? Are you driving? That's wear and tear in your car, gas nowadays. Are we going to look at flights to go in? Luggage?
Probably.
Because are we bringing 1 bag, 2 bags? Are you staying the whole week?
Girl.
What are you doing? Are you staying in a hotel, an Airbnb?
Were you thinking of driving? Well,
We're driving. Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
We're going to drive because we're going to go with the kids. My husband's coming with the kids, and while I volunteer, they're going to go to the aquarium. They're going to go find a zoo.
Sightseeing.
Yeah, they have the redwoods. I think that was only like 45 minutes away from where we were staying. So he's going to do that. We also got an Airbnb, like a cabin Airbnb. So it has
nice.
Yeah, it has paths to walk and things for the kids.
Wow.
So yeah, he's like, even like staying here for the day would be fine because they can go on like a little adventure.
Yeah, I love that. Make a trip out of it.
Right. And that was his thing. And I was like, I'm not even going to be able to hang out with the family.
I know.
And he's like, you're going to have a good time and we'll have a good time. And I was like, part of me is like, yeah, I'm going to be so excited. And then when I hear their stories of like where they went or what they did, I'm like, I didn't get to do that.
Or maybe you could stay an extra day or stay a day earlier or something.
Girl, people have to work. People have to do things.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's another thing to think about.
Yeah. And then if you fly, renting a car, Ubers.
Yeah.
If you're staying in a hotel, your meals every day. If you're staying in an Airbnb, groceries. There's so many things. And like you said, vendor village.
Who's not going to want to buy merch? Let's be real.
And parking.
That's another thing I don't think about.
So you're looking at it. It is to me like a festival or like a week-long trip, depending on where you're staying. And again, that's just a fan going. Can you even imagine like the athlete going with a coach and getting all of them set up?
And their meal preps. And
you know, it's just...
Gosh.
Yeah, like we were saying, like how my family is attending, like the Airbnb that we got to fit us and what we wanted was $1,500.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So we're doing a travel day and then we're doing an extra day so we could pack up and then leave. So like I'm not, So that takes like if you're traveling in the state, out of state, last minute booking costs. I'm not a last minute booking person.
Neither am I.
I don't like it. Gives me anxiety if things run out, if only the expensive rent-a-car is available, only expensive seat is available, or the nosebleeds and you can't see anything is the only thing available, which we know that's usually the first thing taken. You know, there's just so many factors just as a fan. So you're not paying for just a seat, you're paying for the whole experience, which I get that, but what is your limit on the experience?
Dude, I know. I'm just ka-chinging all the things I want to do. Mm-hmm. Remind me, what are the dates? It's in July, right? Is it July?
Mm-hmm. It's July 20th through the 26th.
Oh, damn. I'm going to ask for the days off, too.
I was
That's
another
thing.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
It's on a weekdays, so I'm like, I'm going to have to ask for the days off at work and just so close to my birthday.
Because if you're staying for everything and traveling in and doing all that, it is the whole week.
Damn. Mm-hmm. No, it's hefty.
And that's true. Like some of these people, when I think of masters, like, yeah, they're athletes that are working out every day. Some of them are retired, so they can take the time off. Some of them are not. Some of them are full-time workers, and they have to take, that part off.
Yeah.
Compared to like the ones who are, like I said, retired, or the elite that they get paid and sponsored to do these things.
True.
You have the middle people, and going into that, not only do they have that, they have, we went to the fan. Now we're going into the athlete. Some of them have to pay for gym memberships. Some of them are not coaches.
Yeah.
So they have gym memberships. They have programming. Like Dave goes through Invictus. He pays for that programming. You have coaching if you need one-on-one coaching.
Yeah, that's true.
Any like nutrition, if you're going through a nutrition, supplements, shoes and gear, competition entry fees, traveling.
Girl, entry fees could be ridiculously expensive too.
And those are also athletes who are, traveling for qualifiers. We had people who went to qualifiers and also did in-house qualifiers that I had followed. Olivia Kerstetter went to 2 qualifiers or semifinals because she didn't make it in one. So she went to another one and did that. That's traveling. And then she went to WFP in Europe.
Ooh.
So she traveled to a couple states just in like a week or two and then went to WFP.
That is so much.
Right?
That's insane.
So thinking about that, we know that she gets sponsored. I believe she's in college. So I know her parents also, like, she went through the whole teens and doing teens for CrossFit Games. So that's like instilled in her and things like that. But going into people who are not like the bigger names, they have to raise money. And I know that we went over this last year with people talking about qualifiers and how they said, like, sometimes it wasn't even worth the money to go because if they didn't get on the first qualifier and then paying for this one. So they decided to do the at-home qualifier.
That's right.
But then if you have the at-home qualifier, you need like the different judges. You need 2 judges. You need to make sure everything's set up, the timer, your video.
Yeah.
And then there's something about like, yes, doing it at your home gym, you feel more comfortable, I feel. But standards could be taken differently with different,
We see that in the Hiller videos all the time.
All the time. Or you can get people like, I got an email of, the age division, we just did all that. You can look at the videos, and if this video gets so many reviews, then CrossFit will have to review it, which I think is kind of janky because you could, let's say we were some CrossFit and we were upset because our person got 10th and we think they deserve 9th. If we have like 100 people who did it or even like 20 people who did the judges course or wanted to look over and just hit review, that would send that video into review, even if they didn't need it.
Facts.
And you're relying on it's just like kind of a coin toss to me. I don't like when they do that, when they rely on humans sometimes, because humans can human and be like, well, maybe, you know, instead of 6th place, we could get 5th if we do this. And then you have to put it into review. Maybe your athlete just needs to do better, or you as a judge needs to do better.
The judging I feel could be improved just a little bit more,
you know,
in those cases.
And it's different at the gym. You get comfortable coaching. I am not like the most amazing coach or judge, but I
don't know. I think you're pretty good. Hence why I always pick you.
Yeah. It's, you know, you have to hold yourself to a standard, and you have to be okay saying no rep.
Yep.
And you have to have that confidence. I'm still finding that confidence. Like, I believe Amanda Simmons is very confident. Like, she's one that can go out to the elites and judge them, where I'm kind of like, it's like a toss up.
Yeah.
Now, when we have like our gym competition and we have RX people come from other places, I don't know if my brain just goes, well, I don't see these people every day. So yeah, I'm fine with no repping them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And it's not like, oh, Blake's just fine with no repping, so she's going to no rep even if it's a good rep. It's more of like, I'm not worried compared to there's some people that I'm like, they're trying to get to the games. Yeah. Or trying to get to the games. And I don't want to be the one who calls a bad rep. Right. It's just a confidence issue I have.
That's fair.
That I have to get over. And it's weird, right? Just like,
I know what you mean. I like thinking on it too. I feel the same way. I think it's just because, well, partially we don't want to feel that, like, let that person feel bad, one.
Yeah.
But also, like you said, you are going to continue interacting with this person. And if it leaves like some sense of bad blood, it's going to be a very awkward situation.
Yeah. To where it's just like,
because we've seen both sides of that, where people get really upset.
People get really upset.
Just shake it off and they're like, okay, cool, I'll do another rep. But you just never know.
You don't. So there's things like that. But if I don't see them like on an everyday basis, I just have more of like, this is just my job and you got to respect it. Compared to, I also don't want to misjudge something and have the reason why I misjudge something, Dave can't go.
Yeah, especially when it's someone like elite. Yeah,
elites though, like you can see how much work they put into it, and they are very easily judged. Blake like just wants to make sure like I'm counting right, I'm writing down times, so I know. Phoebe, before we sat down, I said, hey, Phoebe, can you just make sure when he does this, write down the time, and then we'll compare just to make sure that I paid attention to the timer too. And then Chris saw that she was writing. He's like, oh, can you write down the splits? And she's like, it actually helped. And I go, yeah, I just want to make sure like we're like hitting not off by like tons. And it wasn't like cheating. It was just like to make sure like Blake looks at the timer, Phoebe looked at the timer, and we actually got the same exact times. So it was just to like double check, because this is somebody who has been training and has putting everything into it. You do not want to mess up. Yeah. You know, that's why I commend Chris for like making sure the timer's in it, making sure the recording, you can see everything. Even like where he had me, he's like, hey, I need you here. Because you step in front of the camera, that could disqualify them. There are strict rules. You have to make sure you stay in sight of that camera. If you step out of it, they don't know what you're doing. You're disqualified, or you have to redo the video. You have to make sure all these things. And that's also people who watch. So we had people who watch. We, you know, he was like, set the boxes up, because you don't know. People are just going to walk around. They don't know the rules. You know, some of us do because we've been around these things and been told. But majority of people are just like, oh, I could just walk in the middle of it. I don't know why you would, but just do it. But you're just not thinking. Yeah. So there's these little tiny things that go through my mind where I was like, I don't want to be the reason why. And I shouldn't be.
Dude, no, yeah.
I had so much fun judging him, though.
Yeah.
But that was an adrenaline dump afterwards.
I would be honored.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I was chosen. You want me to judge?
They didn't have anybody else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, was Amanda not?
Amanda had to work on that day.
Oh, that's right.
Jason was working, so he didn't know if he was going to be on call. Phoebe didn't have her. And it was also the judging. So I had that other judging course done because of your quarterfinals.
I thought you did great. I think you're
felt
a great
really
judge.
good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hence why I request you every open. I'm like, I want Blake.
I know they're like, you
Dips.
guys are friends, so you just. I was like, I do not.
No, it's not like you give me passes just because we're friends.
And that's
not
the same
at all.
like when I was like, hey, can I have
Not at
Trisha?
all.
And people are like, oh, you just will let Trisha. And I was like, I don't.
No. You've called me out a few times.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, damn it. Okay.
I expect the same out of me. You usually know when you know rep.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at being like, oh, okay, I'm doing another one.
Yeah.
But you've called me out a few times for sure. For sure.
I'm still like,
I think it was a double under maybe or something.
Oh, when you had stopped, I probably just told you how many you had left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I was like, that wasn't
one.
50. You
That's
had
a hard
5
one to
left.
read.
And I was like, just 5 more. That was really good because you're like, I'm just going to keep going, but I'm going to keep count too. And I was like, I think it was like the 3rd round that we had stopped at the same time. And I was like, yeah.
We were on it.
I was like,
Did
yes,
good. I'm like,
that's
we
a
did
win.
good. We did because it was double under counting and you did. I mean, that's hard.
Yeah.
That's very hard.
So going back to the athletes, they put in a lot of money too.
They do.
I feel like some can be like Dave coaches at our gym. So you can, depending on what you get as a coach at your gym, that helps him out, alleviating some sort of price for that.
True.
But, you know, he does pay for programming. He does need new gear. He is bringing, you know, like Chris is going to help him as a coach too, because you do need that. And so that,
I agree.
you need pricing for that. You need price for traveling. He's going to need somewhere to stay, all these things. So it adds up. And I feel it adds up for people who are the in between of, you know, elite and not elite, and in between of retired and not retired, where you have that
That's a good
whole,
point.
I have to work and I have to go there and I have to figure out, because some of these people do have to bring coaches. You know, when we go to weightlifting, like we have to help with Chris because he's missing out on work. So we have those. Some coaches are like that. You have to, because it is their time.
Yep. Not to mention childcare. I'm like, I don't have kids, but I
If you
got to
have
find a
that.
sitter for the dogs.
Yeah.
That's rough.
So it adds up on both ends.
There's so many factors. Yeah, I feel like we've talked about this too before in the past, how we feel like part of it has, or I don't know how you feel about it, but I personally, as someone who's competing this year and had to pay like the fees to participate in
How
the
much
NCC,
was it for NCC? Because when you went to do it, the sign up fee was only what, $25?
Something like that. But I paid at least $400, I think.
Yeah. When I saw last year's ticket, I was like,
At least. And then I need to fly there. So that was like $200. And then luckily Joe's going to help me out with like an Airbnb. So I did have to pay for that. But yeah, it adds up, girl. And then I had to ask for some days off from work.
Yep.
So there's that. And then luckily you're going to watch my dogs. But had I not, I'd have to pay for dog sitting too. So that's another thing. But yeah, that's why I'm just like, it's an expensive thing to participate. Like once you do it, you kind of feel like, oh man, this is awesome. But it definitely does feel like a dent in
and
your
do you
bank.
think that
Yeah.
like would also like deter people from actually wanting to compete in those type of things?
So. Because I know you've mentioned like that's a pretty steep fee to just register and participate in something like that. And I can see some people not being able to afford something.
And
like
you're not
that.
getting anything back.
No, just maybe
Right?
a t-shirt.
Because if you're, let's face it, if you're not like the top 3, you're not
Yeah,
getting anything
probably
back
not.
from
No,
it. I know
no.
the games you
Gee,
get.
thanks, Blake. No,
Sorry.
no, but for real, though, yeah.
The games,
Yeah.
you're getting like gear and things like that for
That's
the games.
true.
So you can say like, I'm getting an experience out of it. And sometimes like we pay for those experience. What's the difference of then going, you know, to Europe or something and having a holiday
Or
that
to a
way?
concert, I guess.
Or to, well, concerts are to me also astronomical.
Right? Probably just as much as registration fees
yeah.
nowadays.
So like having those experiences, you can look at it like you're competing more than one day compared
Yeah.
to just one day.
That's true.
What you're getting out of it compared to like our house gym ones, like when we
Right.
do mayhem and things like that. Yeah, we have a registration fee. I feel like it's a little bit more doable.
Or manageable, 100%.
Yeah. And so you have to look at it that way. This is for people who are like,
That's true. Your audience is the one you need to kind of assess and see.
it is hard. Like you do have to look at economically, like nowadays prices are just really high.
For everything.
Is that an excuse, though, to be like, well, it's high, so it has to be this?
True.
It's just down the road can deter people from actually wanting to do it.
That's fair.
But if I look on the flip side, we see the very similar elites doing it, and it's more of the people who are sponsored, more of the people who are, and it would be hard to be a newcomer coming in, no name, nobody sponsoring, no doing that. It's a lot harder, I think, nowadays than it was in quite a few years ago.
That's true. I would say so.
Yeah, which then like sometimes we wanted CrossFit to be like that because they're like, we're just as big. We should be as big as like football or soccer or things like that, which I don't think it's ever going to be that big.
Probably not.
But I can see why they're doing it. It's just, in a couple years, are we going to regret those choices? Mm-hmm. But just, and my brain's just all over the place because you guys, we did a hierarchs class and I'm just dead.
We're died.
We're died.
Exactly. We can't even speak.
But like rental, like the arenas, they have rental fees. Like my daughter just does dance, and the high school's auditorium, we have to rent that out. So you do a rental fee, and that's either broken up into our dance budget or our dance payment each month, or the tickets go up.
That's true.
So you have to kind of look at it that way too. If everything's going up in these arenas in these areas, or these, when you go, what is it? Like a booth, if we were to like register a booth, how much would that be for the weekend? So they have to pay that. Yeah. And they have to look at their sales.
Yeah.
How much am I going to recoup? What if it's like a $1,500 booth rental for the weekend or just for the day? Now I have to recoup and then some.
No, that's fair.
So it's everybody who's just adding on to this chaos of price gouging.
No, I mean, you're right. You're right. When I do think on the flip side of like, well, the time, like the people having to hire all these people to like create this event and to put it up and to run it, like it is extensive. So I understand that part of it. And it's not for everybody. Like when I talk to some people and they're like, wow, you're going to pay that much money to exercise and suffer. Like, yeah, I love it. I want to do it. And other people are like, that's freaking crazy. I would never spend money on something like that.
But you sure spend a lot on fast food.
I still do.
DoorDash. I mean,
once a week at least, baby. If we've earned our keep.
That's different. Like that is just like, for people who are like, why would you do that? And it's like, but you're
crazy.
doing the opposite.
Yeah, we're investing in something healthy, guys.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
At least that's how I justify it.
And they didn't ask us for our firstborn.
It's pretty close. That's how I justify it. I'm like, well, at least I'm spending on something that's going to make me healthy. At least.
You have to do that. It's
so you don't feel bad.
What makes you happy, I guess, you guys.
This is what we're going to be doing High Rocks later this year. Yeah.
But going back over that, do you think it makes the elite CrossFit becoming more financially exclusive? Compared to how
I would say so.
CrossFit's supposed to be inclusive.
I mean, I think so. And I feel like there's been like kind of back and forth in terms of like CrossFit LLC and making it affordable, making it not affordable. And then we've kind of seen that in terms of like making the quarterfinals 25% and then not making it and kind of back and forth. So I feel like they're trying to figure that out and they still haven't quite gotten there. But I think this year, and we've talked about it at the gym, we feel like significantly the prices drastically increased compared to what they cost the previous years. So, I mean, it is cutting out a lot of people from participating or wanting to, I would say.
Yeah. If you don't have that backing, how are you going to get there? So I always felt the elite were kind of exclusive anyways. I mean, when I first started, I was like, I can try and do that.
Yeah.
It was just for their movements, like not even being sponsored, because even when I went out there, not a lot of were sponsored. Instagram wasn't really big for the elites. Like you were you went there and you got sponsored basically through Reebok because you were wearing the stuff or you were wearing, CrossFit gear and that's all you had. It wasn't like, oh, we're sponsored by Monster. Oh, we have this. Oh, we have that. Because when you go to the CrossFit Games, you have the gear that they give you to wear, like the outfits.
That's right.
Now, shoe wise, I always wonder because I'm like, you have to break in those shoes. How are you breaking in those shoes? Do you want blisters? So many.
That's true.
Insignificant questions for people that I've always wondered every year that I watch the games. Like, oh, that's the shoes you wore. Didn't you just get those?
Yeah, because they look brand spanking.
Yeah. So I always wonder about blisters because I don't like it.
I always follow that golden rule to a T. Also,
and then some people don't. Some people wear their lifters that they have brought. You know,
I'd like to see those feet.
Yeah. So it's just,
oh man,
it is. You looking at it from both sides, but like we said, like travel has gone up. Running events have gone. Running events goes up.
Groceries.
Now I'm volunteering, so I'm not getting paid. I get paid in experience.
Yeah,
but I also signed up for that. Like,
that's what I'm
literally
saying,
knew what I signed up for.
be a part of that. Yeah.
Just to say that I did.
But also because like we can, I guess we have the ability to do that. Not a lot of people could probably be like, oh, I got chosen, but I can't afford to make it in California. So it's like, I guess we have that privilege and not everyone can. So is it very accessible? I don't know if I would say that fully. Like, would it be nice if the volunteers, they gave them like some kind of voucher or something for like renting at a certain hotel or like,
so I know that they did email us and they're like, how many of you guys would be wanting to do like at the university?
Oh.
And at that time, I didn't think my husband and the kids were going. Yeah, it was $75 a night.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that.
It was $75 a night for like dorm? At one bed or $105 for two.
I'd be like, I feel like I'm in college again,
right? And I was like, oh,
that would have been cool.
I was like, I'll do it if I don't have to worry about like, you know, certain things, because then they were having you'd be able to use like a tram to the facility or whatever, or walk. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm okay with
camping. That sounds kind of fun.
And then my husband was like, well, I want to go with the kids. And I was like,
oh, well, at least he wants to go.
Yeah. But they were just putting out a survey. So I don't even know if that's going to happen because it was just a survey for people.
Still pretty cool.
Yeah. I was like, that's nice. They did have hotels. Like, they're like, this is where CrossFit is blocking some rooms. But I looked into that and I was like, it's just the same price as me getting an Airbnb.
Ouch.
And I can go grocery shopping instead of going out every...
Yeah, well, if they pay for my meals, I'm going to milk it.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for that. But I did tell my husband, I was like, yeah, we could go to the grocery store and get this. Yeah, we'll have to see. Like, I'm excited to, like, really like think of everything and do a deep dive into that. So that's why I was like, ooh, I can do it on volunteering. You can do it as going, like the two different separate. But yeah, looking over the prices, girl, it's just, I was like,
we can definitely talk about it after your experience because I want to hear all of that.
Going on the flip side of then, like, what are other options of getting people there? Right? It's more of a community base. And this is why affiliates do matter. And helping people who don't have the means to get there. And there's things where you do fundraisers. I know we're doing a big fundraiser. We have a chug and run for Dave. We're adding a kids dash.
That's right. I've never heard of that before.
Right? I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll have the kids and I'll make the kids do that.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds like fun.
And then that's money for me to help Dave. I'm like, oh, no problem. Or shirt sales. When I judged Dave in one of them, there was a couple of us who wore the last time he went to the games.
Forgot to wear the shirt.
And Jason walked in. He's like, I didn't know we were wearing shirts. And I was like, yeah, this was the last time we went.
I should have worn mine. Totally missed that. Cool.
I still, when Marley went and they were doing shirts for her, I have her shirt too.
I've seen
I was
that
like,
one.
yeah, I'll get that
cool.
shirt. It's a cute shirt. You know, the gym support, I think, helps that athlete too.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, yeah, people support Dave so much. Like, they're like so excited. I've had so many people who are like, oh, are you going? What's the
plan?
I've also had people ask me about ticket prices and I go, you can look at it, but it's going to be expensive. I know that he of course he would love to have everybody there, but he also focuses. He's like, I'm there for me to do the games. It's nice to have people there. But
that makes sense.
Yeah. I do love that his family's going. Last time Maggie couldn't go, she was pregnant. Phoebe's going.
Yeah.
So to have that, I just think is like a full circle of having your kids there and you're doing it. And then the grandkids get to see you. And it's just awesome to hear that.
That is.
But you also have the gym support who's like, yeah, I'll buy a shirt. Yeah, I'm going to do this. It's going to help him get there. It's going to help him to not worry
100%
about certain things, right? So we have that donations, members cheering for athletes on it. It's just nice. I remember when last time he went, there was me and another coach that stayed back because even back then I was like, oh no, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
I couldn't justify to my husband at the time for him to watch our toddler and our, school age kid to be like, hey, yeah, I'm just going to go hang out here for a week and you don't get to come.
Sorry.
Yeah. So also the gym needed help too, because that's the thing. If all of us coaches or things like that go at certain gyms, like what do you do? So I ended up staying, but the cool thing was like when people would come in, I had him up on the screen and we just cheer for him, even though he couldn't hear us. But it was so fun to watch him. People would come in and be like, is Dave on? What time is Dave going to be on? Yeah. So that was really, really cool too.
Man.
I loved that. So if you have somebody going, the best thing you do is support them. Buy a shirt. Like it helps. When we did it for weightlifting, like knowing people for Texas, like helped us out for that. And just
it makes you feel good.
Yeah. And you just feel like, wow, these people are gym family. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy it. That's
adorable.
Why affiliates do matter. Like the good affiliates, the affiliates that create that home gym, because there's some affiliates who are like, okay, well, we need 300 members. We need this. We need that. And to me, that's more of the Globo gyms and not as much as CrossFit. And I think that just helps more if you're more of a home gym. Like people want to feel like they're in a home gym.
Right.
So
it's true.
Might as well.
I love it. And then I guess we've talked a little bit about kind of social media. And more like the elite athletes, because I would say like in social media, the more people that I see are definitely people who have been in the game for a while. But I think there's like this misconception that, people think everyone is rich, especially when it comes to athletes appearing online and, sponsored posts, travel content, things like that. I think it's important to acknowledge like just because someone's at the games, it doesn't mean they're financially comfortable. And that's something like you've mentioned that we need to work on, or as a community is something that we strive to kind of like bring more transparency to. Just because, like I mentioned, the fees to just register and to go in itself is a lot. And like you mentioned, as an athlete, you're talking about other things like your equipment, you're talking about your meals, you're talking about having your coach there. It's just something that I think it's an illusion, or makes us believe that it's all glamorous and great. But those
even for the elites, like there's sometimes that I've watched at competitions on YouTube or listened to podcasts or seen events. And this to me also strikes like Olympics, when social media, or even like for Olympics, like the news or people watch certain athletes, but social media has done this even more, how it's boomed. When you hear like the announcers go, this is the person to watch, this is the person who's going to beat them, and then they don't do it, because social media is sometimes not real life. I can hit stop, delete the video I just did, and re-record to make it better. True. And that doesn't mean movement standards. I feel like the elite are a little bit better than our everyday average, savagely scaled for standards, because savagely scaled, we're still learning. We're trying to understand this whole CrossFit, trying to understand like what we're doing in this fitness world, to where elites, which still do get in trouble. And that's why you can watch Hiller videos, and shout outs for that. There can be those days where you don't know what. I remember one year, Cara Saunders came over and went to the games. This was like right after COVID. And COVID was still very prevalent during travel. She got here a week earlier because, right, she lives in Australia, got COVID during traveling.
Ugh.
COVID takes like a week. She tested negative to get into the games, but she hadn't worked out because, right, these people who travel, they just don't show up the day before. The elites and some others, like they acclimate if they're from different countries or different states. They want to get their gear, they get pictures, they get walkthroughs, they got to meet with Dave, things like that, and team meetings. So you get acclimated, and most of them work out. And she didn't. And she had, one of her worst years, I believe. For her. To me, she's still amazing, even though she doesn't compete in the games anymore. But to see that and be like, but she's been doing so good. And nobody really knew the backstory until like midway through when she had talked to somebody. Oh. And it's like, so social media, we could be like, she should have done way better. Or the years that they were like Hopper, Dallin Pepper, like the young guys, when Matt Frazier was walking away from, the games, like it was his last games or his last semifinals. And they're like, these are the ones to look out for. And then the next year when they didn't win the games, some of these young guns who are now like going into their prime as they should are now getting into that. It was like, why do you guys set these people up to fall off of their social media? Like, you don't know. You also don't know how many times they're working out. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, I just watched them on Instagram. They're not doing, that much stuff. Well, yeah, they're not recording their whole day. Some of them do have wives, husbands, jobs. Some people work on farms. Some people, some go to school. Some are teachers. You don't know what they're doing, but bet your bottom dollar, most of them are trying to get 2 workouts a day or something, or a strength portion and something else. Like that's what you're doing, or cardio and a strength and then doing a workout. And sometimes we judge people on that. And that's just because those smoky mirrors of we, as average people, are just scrolling, watching our favorite elites.
True.
While they're putting in the work. And you can say like, who put in the work on this, who put in the work on that. There are athletes who there's just certain movements that they try their best at, and it's just not in their wheelhouse. And the example I have is Laura Horvath. Mm-hmm. Just ring muscle ups are not her jam. And she can work on them. And who am I to say like, she needs to do more? She's probably not doing enough. I don't know what she does every day. I'm not there working out with her. Yeah. I could create that. Now I'm on team so-and-so, just like football. Like, I don't know what they're doing. And I feel like social media does that. You can be like, oh, well, they have the most sponsors. Okay. Content creating is so different nowadays to where if you just bump the content, people are like, oh, well, you have that many views. We want you to sponsor us because you have more people viewing you, which means more people are going to pay for our stuff. We don't know what kind of work they're doing either. True. I was just talking to my husband about this while we were on our trip. And I have a friend who's a content creator, and she has 4 kids, lives in a beautiful house. And I was talking to Chris, I go, there's so many times when I was like, I wish I could do those things. But I sometimes feel sorry for people who do that because all they're doing is living through their phone or some sort of camera. And then they're living on their computer editing or on their phone editing. Yeah. I'm not saying that she does that. I love her. I actually started CrossFit with her at the same time, and her babies and her family are beautiful. But when I look at some other people, it's a full-time job.
Dude, yeah. If you want to be good at it, like, yeah.
So then like, what is your job? And then you have to have people who are like your PR team and things like that. Now we're paying people to do those things.
Yep, that's another cost. That's another thing to worry about.
So you just don't know. Social media, I really don't go off of social media. I more go off of social media for funny videos.
Same.
Right? And be like, ooh, or now a cute outfit or cute shoes, and be like, oh, that
meal preps, things like that.
Yeah, meal prep. I really don't go off of like, oh, because they have that video, they're the most amazing athlete. Like, we all have bad days. Yeah, we all have athlete's foot. We all have bad days in training, and that could be before the competition or it could be during the competition. You don't know when something's going to happen.
Facts.
There's been athletes who've gotten injured, passed out, other things. Like, you don't know what's going to happen on competition floor, any competition floor.
True.
There's like that with the ice skating just recently at the Olympics, like a couple of years ago, when they're like, that guy's going to win everything. And then something happened and he didn't win as much as people. And they're like, man, how got blah, blah,
the
blah.
expectation too.
Yeah,
is
like when
just
you put that
ridiculous.
much on their shoulders.
It's so much.
And you don't want of course you don't want people to fail that you've like put up that way. It sucks to watch people fail. For me, there might be a villain out there that loves it.
But you're right. I feel like that happens every year. Like people are like, oh, this, like you said, it's always like, oh, this is a person that we know or feel is going to win it. And it's like, we don't know that.
Yeah. So just remember all the time that they're putting in, all the money they're putting in, all the time away from their family if they're going to a gym. Some people don't have home gyms. It's like putting into it in a different way. That's mentally like the money toll mentally on that for your body, for your time, and then just the actual money.
Girl, yes.
It's a lot, girl.
Being in this spot.
Do you think with all of that, is the experience worth it? Because people are still going. It reminds me of Disneyland. Disneyland prices are going up, but people are still going. That park is still packed, y'all.
Every day. Dude, Joe and I were doing the math because we're like, let's just talk about fast passes and like how much money they make. I think it was with that and the ticket, just that.
Yeah.
And it was like $10 million a day. And I was like, imagine with the food and everything else. That's like, it's ridiculous. But you're right. I will keep paying and keep going.
Right? People will still pay. We were going over because we're like, oh, maybe we'll take Weston and Harper to Legoland for Weston's birthday. I was looking at the prices for that. And you know what was funny is I was like, well, a pro is we would be spending, 3 days at Legoland for about... I think it was $1,300 or $1,600
For all of you guys?
for all of us with a hotel
Okay.
and early access. But we'd have to drive to San Diego, so we're driving even longer.
True.
And then we're like, but the Halloween thing for Disneyland, right? They haven't even pushed the ticket prices yet.
Oh,
They just said when
them, you mean?
they just said when pre-sale was.
When
so
is
that
it?
scares me a little
That's
bit. It's in June. I let you
it's
know
soon.
because my mom was like, "Oh, we want to do it." I was like, "We're in between," and I was like, "So if we go for the night, it equals the same as the 3 day for Legoland."
No way. Just one night?
Yeah, for 9 hours, mind you. I think 7 to 9 hours.
That's crazy.
But I'm going to tell you, girl, we're leaning more towards the Disneyland because we don't have to drive 6 hours.
That's true.
We don't have to worry about, like we're just deacon staying, food, and then my mom, because it's Weston and Chris's birthday, she's like, I'll pay that for their birthdays.
Wow.
So then it's just me and Harper, which is the same price. They don't do a kid's price and adult price.
Oh, damn. Now it's all the same?
Girl, it's the same. It's been the same for the last couple of years. Mind you, and it's usually like 200 something. Mind you, when I first started going to this Halloween thing, guess how much the tickets were? Because I went when they first had
Which
it.
was back when, 2020?
Oh,
Way before?
Way before then. It was before I met Chris.
Oh, okay. So then I'm guessing maybe like $100.
$65.
What? That's crazy. Now it's quadrupled. Quadrupled. Yo.
Yeah.
Yo.
Because we're like, this is fun. And it was
I'd rather just get a season pass at that point. That is crazy.
And tell me why we're leaning more towards, because we
don't even live in California.
I know.
That is insane.
So he's like, yeah, so technically it would only be like maybe $600 compared to the $1,600 for one night.
Dude, that's not even the whole day. It's like just the night.
Yeah, because we can get in at 3.
But still.
And it closes at midnight. You have to...
Is it worth it?
Is you going back to the games?
Yeah.
Do you think, and it's...
Maybe we don't know yet because we haven't gone and we don't know what it's like.
But I mean, I've heard about the community and you meet other communities and good things.
Yeah.
And just the inspiration. And tons of people want to meet the athletes.
Girl, yes. Like the meet and greets are pretty cool.
It's like going to Mickey's house and meeting Mickey.
Yeah, but it's always Mickey, and this time they always rotate.
You got athletes, Daisy, you got Minnie, you got...
I do feel like I don't know a lot of the newer athletes, though. Yeah. And that's the part where they lose me sometimes, because I'm like, yeah, I'd be excited to meet someone like Matt Frazier, Tia Toomey, but I only know the old school, and the newer school, I'm not quite there yet. So I'm like, would it really benefit me, who only knows like maybe a few of the athletes now? Like versus back in the day, I probably would have been more excited about that because I knew more people.
Yeah.
So I guess that's another thing that for me, I'm kind of teeter-tottering like, well.
But I feel like me and you are really big on atmosphere.
That's true.
Right?
Yes.
The atmosphere is
there's good
vibing,
music and there's good colors.
And we're like, yeah.
Good food.
We got that. And we're like, you know what? It might have been that much, but man, did we have fun.
That's true.
Right?
Tis true.
I'm always about that. I'm like, man, but how much fun did we have?
That's true. That's a good point.
I want to go back because how much fun. I wanted to go back to Disneyland the day after. I was like, I had so much fun with everybody.
The whole post-Disneyland depression is real. It's so real.
I had so much fun with everybody. I want to go back.
And I wanted to keep eating fast food all week. That was the problem. I was like, I can't come back too. I'm trying to get back on my nutrition. It was hard.
And like how we've talked about, the games is like the Super Bowl for us. And I feel like that's what it's going to be. And I think that's why I was like, yes, I want to volunteer this time because I want to be a part of that experience and be there like how people have talked. Now, I know I'm not going to be able to watch everything, but just like I am a helper. Being in
the energy.
Yes. Yeah. But I'm also a helper. And I love to help. I will help as much as I can.
But don't press my button.
Yeah. So no cutting. No cutting. Like the girl at Disneyland. Yes, this is the line, sweetheart.
Go back that
There's
way.
There's no way this is the line. It is. And believe it. Yeah. You got here late.
That was crazy, dude. So I don't know. Well, I feel like we'll have more information on whether it's worth it if and when we come back.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are going on Reddit, going on other things, talking to people.
True.
I hear both sides. So I don't know like what would help. Like, of course, more affordable tickets would help with anything in life now. Of course,
yeah.
But if it's, again, something that you love to go to and you're pinching your pennies, you're saving, or you want to get yourself to the games, like you're going to make it happen.
True.
It is sad. Like I'm not in this version of like, well, I want to go, but I can't afford it. Like I made it, but I can't afford it. Now that's a little bit different. And I think that's where if you're part of a really good affiliate, that steps up or, with anything, if I qualify for something, I'm going to try. Like I'll bake some cookies and do a bake sale. Mm-hmm. I'll do all kinds of stuff to get myself there if I have to.
Right.
So I would love affordable tickets, but again, I'm volunteering, so my ticket does not count.
That's true. You gotta hustle.
Yeah. Live stream, I know that was a thing.
I do love that they do that now.
I do. There are some times when I'm like, yo, bro, the quality.
Well, we're not ESPN, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was on there for a quick minute.
They sent their least experienced cameraman. They're like, we need someone to cover the CrossFit. Oh, nobody wants to. Timmy, you're
what's that?
I know. You could tell that it wasn't the best quality.
And there's times when the announcers, I'm like, that's not the person who's on the camera. That is not the person who's on the camera.
Yes, that happened a lot.
And I know like they're on different screens and they're talking. Yeah.
It could improve on that end. Yeah.
It could be, but I'm like, who's ever in their earpiece needs to tell them that that's not the person on the camera that they're talking about.
Dude, or some of the things so that
they said at Mayhem. What was it? They were talking to a lady who had just won the event, and they go, "Oh, with you being old or older, how does it feel working out with these young people?" After she won the event, I was like, Why would that be your first question, Bailey? Why would that be your first question?
Girl, I do remember that. And I was like, they should have put us in there. We would have done a way better job.
And I'm like, all right, you guys, I know that nobody went to school for this.
Questions. You're
right.
That
was for the games, but Mayhem was just crazy. I was like, why are we asking that?
That's strange.
They just did really good. Or like the whole, now Masters, I'm glad that Masters is back to this kind of, because Masters last year, it drove me nuts watching Masters and watching the teens also last year, because they literally it was just a widescreen, and then they wouldn't have who was in first or who was in second or things like that up on the screen that they usually have for the games. Like you can kind of see who's in the leaderboard, or even during the event, who's first. And it was just drove me crazy. There was also where you would hear them, but you couldn't see a picture. And then for Masters, because how they had it set up, they had like 2 groups going, but you would only see one of the videos on one side, and it wasn't even like the full camera. And then you didn't know who was in lane 1 or lane, 10. And then they would be talking about somebody who didn't win, and then like, wait, never mind, it was somebody else. And I'm like, you guys are driving me nuts.
Oh no.
Like, you are driving me nuts.
This is awful.
So like watching Masters was, to me, worse with my anxiety and like being like, we need to be better organized. The teens were a little bit better, but again, I was like, wait a minute, you just said that was that girl and that's not the girl.
That's awful.
Yeah, I don't like that parts. And again, I don't know what camera they're looking at and what the cameraman is doing, because it's not just one camera, so, but sometimes I'm like, you guys, or the things you say. Now, again, we can rewind and see what the things Blake says in class and be like, well, why'd she say that?
I mean,
right? So
we don't even need to say, we just look at each other like, no, she didn't.
Yeah. Or like, wait, did she say 2 reps or 3 reps? Because I was like, and I hold up. I do this so much. I will hold up the number 2 and say 3 reps. And I'm like, this is why you guys come to 4:30.
Pick through, my lord.
Yes. And I always do that. And there's only like 1 or 2 people who understand what I'm saying.
Oh, man. But I feel like you said, like, people are very comfortable around you, that they are not afraid to call you out. I'm thinking of Nasia yesterday in class where she's like, oh, she didn't take her attitude juice yesterday.
Yes. Because there was one class where you're like, you're snappy.
Yeah.
And I was
she's like,
yeah,
oh my gosh.
you need more weight on there. That's what you pay me for, right?
True. That's why they're like, oh man, she's right.
Yeah. Some people do talk about for more support of like more regional events returning. I liked regional events.
I did too, yeah.
More sponsor assistance for athletes, but that's kind of hard. Like we can say that, but nowadays it's more about like content, what you're creating, and those businesses want more views. They just want the numbers to go up constantly. So I can't
We're
really
in that
be like,
kind of world now, man. It's all about like TikTok and videos, and it's crazy.
And I still want more transparency with CrossFit Games. Like we don't know
anything that's going on. No. We're always like, people are asking, we're like, we don't know.
Yeah. So again, like the question that we're taking away from them is, how do we grow a sport without making it unreachable? But I feel like if you're old CrossFitter like me, CrossFit Games was like a dream.
Yeah.
Of course, I would love to go. Am I ever going to make it? No.
What?
Again,
Maybe
60.
Yes, that's the goal, girl.
That's the goal.
So you're going to be like Coach Dave.
Yes, that is always going to be my goal. But like me, 37.
You got some time.
Yeah, I was like, nah, it ain't happening.
Yeah, girl, I don't know.
And then I have to keep track of like injuries, taking care of myself. I'll just save up. Yeah, I'll save up now for when we go to the games. That's good, right?
Yeah, we got over 20 years to save up. Yes. Could buy a house with that, hopefully.
Have a jug that says, when Blake and Joycey make it to the games.
We're going to VIP it and everything, man. We're going to have enough to do the whole experience. We're going to show up in a limo. Maybe a hover limo by then. Who knows?
Yeah.
We're 60. Oh, man.
Or, you can do like a cheap CrossFit athlete starter pack where you're just eating rice and protein shakes for the whole week instead of buying any of the food. Like, oh no, I brought my rice and my protein for the day.
I mean,
I love
do what
rice.
you gotta do. I do too, man. Make some fried rice with that.
5-year-old grips. Using your old grips.
Girl, no. I can't live without grips. I need some good grips.
Here's a good one. Saying I'm fine while covered in KT tape.
Yeah, we're all guilty of that one.
Right. So
It's bad.
Driving the 10 hours to avoid flights. That's what I'm doing. So I wouldn't say that's like gonna be fun.
Yeah,
But
girl. Bless your heart. It's not
saving
gonna be
money.
10 hours though, but
No, it's gonna be a little bit less. But
Yeah.
some people like road trips. I don't like road trips as much with the kiddos, but
I was gonna say if you're around good people just laughing and kind of talking, then
it takes the
easier.
time.
And I would imagine having a dog and a kid, and it's a little harder for sure.
What would you do to save money?
What would I do?
Yeah.
Ginny, we're going on Only Paws. She has some beautiful paws. No, just kidding.
Yep, she got some beautiful quads too.
I know, girl. Imagine those photos. We'd make some money, girl. Kylo, you too. I'm just That's what I would do.
Which kid doesn't need a kidney?
Oh no, probably. I mean, Kylo, you don't really do much, so I love you, buddy, but Ginny's more of the athlete, and she's already got a bunk back, so
Right.
we gotta give her something.
Carrying her around.
I know, poor Angel. All right, guys. Well, at the end of the day, people keep investing in CrossFit because it really does change lives. The community, the friendships, the inspiration, it's really, truly all priceless. But it's so important to talk honestly about the financial realities of the sport because if we want CrossFit to keep growing, it does have to stay accessible to everyday people too.
Yeah, and on that note, if you guys can contribute to this podcast now,
We're fundraising and listens.
yes. If you're in the Kingman region or even in the Mojave region, we are doing a kids dash
That's
and the chug and run. So one is for kids. One is for adults. We're doing it June 19th. Kingman CrossFit. Look out on Facebook for the link, and we'll try to put the link in the show notes for you guys if you want to, and on our Instagram. If you guys want to come hang out with us, if you want the kids to do a dash,
Yeah.
come on, make them run around. They'll get tired real quick.
That's right.
Or if you're on a date night or just hanging out with your friends and want to come
like
try a chug and run, and you guys know that chug and run, we don't make you do a lot of CrossFit.
That's true.
This is just here to have good old fun with your friends and support Dave and what he's doing and getting to the games. So we would love to see you guys out there, and we'll be sending out those links as soon as we get them.
Also, there's non-alcoholic options, guys.
Yeah.
Just saying.
We're trying to tell you there's really no excuse to not be there and hang out with us.
Yeah. Because I know how scary that can be when you hear chugging and you're like, oh God, that sounds dreadful. But
Right? I
No,
always
there's
get that
options.
where they're like, well, I don't CrossFit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't drink during CrossFit, so this is a totally different event.
it's
that
more
you're-
like fun, interactive, little like a little physical, like, you know.
Oh, when I
but
worked it,
It's
working
hilarious.
it was hilarious.
It was fun.
And
It
that's
was a lot
even
of
people
fun.
who are just drinking water. And I was like, it
Yeah.
was funny.
I had a great time. Really good time.
Yeah, but we'll send those links out again. Remember, have you ever attended the games or competed in a big event? Let us know how much you think people really spend or how much you have really spent to be a part of this sport. Make sure you subscribe, follow, leave a review, and share this episode with your gym crew.
Yes.
When you hit subscribe, you're to blah 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 blah. When you hit subscribe or follow, you won't miss an episode. You'll get a notification. So please hit that button. Follow us. Follow us on Instagram at Savagely Scaled or email us at savagelyscaled1@gmail. We're still looking for affiliates. So if you think you're the best affiliate, we come to you. We like to take a class. We like to talk to your members, do a little spotlight, and then we sit down with the owners. We sit down and talk about what you're doing for the community and what the community thinks about you. So again, you can DM us on Instagram at Savagely Scaled or email us at savagelyscaled1@gmail.com. But remember, don't be a Karen.
Be a Sharon.
And keep sharing. It really does help. Share with that gym crew who's thinking about going, and 5 to a bed just to save some money. And until
We meet
at the whiteboard again. Bye. Can't you